Hello and welcome to my stream. Tonight we play more of Golden Sun The Last Stage. And I don't even know where to start to give you a summary of the situation of the last stream, right? Because not only it was a long stream, but also a lot has happened. Which was good, because after being stuck so many times in this game so far, it was nice to see some plot development, even though I still don't like our party members. I can't take them anymore. Jenna is the villain together with Professor Craydon. That's my biggest bet for the end game. That even could be happening only in the third game of the franchise, right? But I can also give Camelot, right? I believe this game is a Camelot game. Yeah, it is. Camelot Presents. There we go. I'm also giving Camelot the chance to like make more Golden Sun games so you can finally give us the villain that Jenna is, like she can star as the biggest villain of that one game. If it's not in this one or in the next one, I don't care, it's going to happen. It's how the plot is going on. But alright, let's see what I can recall. I'm also in a rush still. I was kind of busy, so I was running with everything here to be able to stream tonight still. So I do hope I can remember things. But I'm still a little bit like finding myself. But let's try it then. Last time, we were finally able to get through the Kibombo Mountains puzzles, because that was the last moment that we got ourselves stuck, right? And the biggest reason why I couldn't solve those puzzles completely was mostly thanks to my abilities, to my Psy-energies, because the puzzle was asking to some specific Psy-energy moves that I couldn't really get to my party members. I was suspecting that I would need to find another electric genie so I could get the whirlwind ability to cut some leaves, right? Or some obstacles that were made of leaves, some branches, pretty much. But yes, I couldn't change their genie equipment enough to give them such abilities. I also didn't have anything about ice or water moves, even though I did have two water genies before. They couldn't give my party members the right specific Psy-energy moves that I was looking for. So I was like struggling with the abilities I had that couldn't solve the puzzle completely, right? And in the end, what happened was that in this game, in opposite to the first game, there are some items that, when equipped, they will change the classes of your party members, and then your party members are going to be kind of stuck into those classes or with a different line of variation of classes as you give them the genies. It sounded more they would be more focused in a certain job or class when those items were equipped than something more elemental magic based. So I had an item equipped to Jenna that made her a tamer, and I had an item equipped to Shiba that made her a jester of some sorts, a Pierrot, right? And with those two items equipped to them, they couldn't really go for their elemental Psy energies. So we learned about that. I totally have forgotten about it, and it was not a mechanic in the Golden Sun 1 game, so I could not really remember that easily because I'm still in the beginning of this game, getting used to it. Plus, I did take my streaming breaks that made me forget a lot about everything. So little by little, I'm still remembering things, especially new mechanics that I was not used to before, right? Golden Sun 1 mechanics got to me already because we played the whole thing and we beat the game. But then these new mechanics of this game, I totally could easily forget about them still. And that happened. But thankfully, we learned about it again, and we got the whirlwind ability to get through a cave that led us to the end of the Kibombo Mountains. That said, I still want to go back to the Kibombo Mountains because there are still secrets going on in there that I couldn't solve. There was even a genie that I remember seeing, but I still don't know how to get to him. But I'm planning on doing that later tonight, right? Then we made it to the Kibombo city, to the Kibombo village, right? It's just called Kibombo as well. And then in there, they were preparing for the celebration, for the ceremony of Akafubu. that's going to become the next, pretty much, village leader or medical chief or something. Yeah, it's like Akafubi is going to be the next one in the lineage of people in there to be in charge of things. If not the whole village, then important things, right? But the thing was that somebody else was there too, observing the ceremony. And finally, it was Piers. So the rumors about Piers going to Gondowan and also following the Kibombos were true, and then we finally have met him. The problem started when our beautiful party members decided to talk to him, right? In a, let's say, in a crazy way, because we still haven't had like an amazing good talk with peers so far in the game. Like we were just acquaintances, I have seen you, have seen me. We are not friends or anything. But my party members were a little bit more desperate and, I don't know, ambitious about their own plans, right? And they didn't care about Piers at all regarding what he was wanting to do, because he had to come with us no matter what, because it is what Jenna says, and Jenna says it, then it happens. That's how everything works in the Golden Sun world. So yeah, we had a very crazy conversation with Piers. I felt very bad for him. It was actually funny how the game acknowledges the situation. So I didn't feel fully alone in the middle of my disagreements, right? Yeah, Piers was also very rational. I like that a lot. Piers was like negating everything. He was disagreeing with Jenna, disagreeing with Professor Craydon. Yeah, Professor Craydon was also another one that was very hard to deal with as well, but I will get there. But yeah, in the end, they convinced Piers to join us because he wanted to retrieve the Black Orb, or the it has another name too, but I forgot. But it's pretty much a Black Orb, right? The Black Orb that allows ship to get to Lemuria, the ancient city. As they were bringing up this thing about the Black Orb until this point of the game, I was getting flashbacks of the end of Golden Sun 1, where Isaac and his friends had to go after one as well, so they could make a ship to work, and then they set on sail with Lord Bobby, right, to Lemuria. And Pierce also revealed that he's from Lemuria. And then once he said that, which was very shocking in my opinion, I was also not expecting that revelation. Once he revealed that, Professor Craydon was more interested into him, right? Because Professor Craydon also revealed that he is a friend of Lord Bobby, so he probably knows what Lord Bobby is looking for. Maybe it's the same thing that Craydon is also looking for, immortality, right? And Lord Bobby and Craydon, I don't know, they are probably the biggest villains of this game, but they think we don't know it yet, right? They are faking it so far. But yeah, Craydon was like obsessed over Piers because he wanted to go to Lemuria, but he knows that it's not easy to get to Lemuria because you need an adept. Wait, you need an adept to be with you to like find the directions in the middle of the maze, and then you also need the Black Orb, and then you should also have a Lemurian ship. Anyway, it's a whole deal for you to get there. But Piers revealed that somebody stole a ship from Lemuria in the past. I don't know how that one person could get to Lemuria at first, by the way. Maybe that person was even a Lemurian himself. There is also that possibility. And that person is Lord Bobby. Yeah, Lord Bobby has stolen a Lemurian ship in the past. And Piers was like, I don't like Lord Bobby because he's a thief, right? He stole our things from my city, from my hometown. But Craydon also revealed that he's Lord Bobby's friend, and then he was like, "Oh, but Lord Bobby most likely had a good reason to do it. Ha ha ha! Don't take it too seriously." I was like, "No, Craydon, you know what Lord Bobby was after. It's probably the same thing you were after. Piers is in the right of like denying everything you're saying because what he's saying was right. Lord Bobby was a thief, a very crazy person looking for immortality." And then Jenna entered the conversation. Jenna convinced Pierce to to let them to help him to retrieve the black orb, and then possibly bring them to Lemuria. I wish Felix could have spoken more, like Felix, reveal my feelings in here. Like, I cannot take this plan because it sounds so bad. Pierce has no motive to, no reason to help us out or to trust us, because not only we just have met pretty much, but also we are friends of his enemies, or like people that he dislikes. But yeah, that whole situation happened, and then we ended up um, trying to interrupt the ceremony of Akafubu, right? And by doing so, we had to deal with the Great Gabomba. And the Great Gabomba is pretty much that village's god, right? The being that everyone in there worships and praises so much. Because it is a huge statue. It's a giant statue that interacts with, let's say, the leaders of the village. In that case, it was Akafubu, because Akafubu was trying to become the next leader. But then Akafubu was trying it for the second time. It sounded like he failed the first time he tried it, and he stole the black orb from Madra because they need to offer jewels to the giant statue so it could accept them as the next leaders or something, right? Or the Great Gabomba could give them the powers, the Psy energies, pretty much, so they could rule as the next leaders or the next medical people. It's a little bit mixed around those lines, like their duty, right, in the village. So we were trying to uh, what is the word, to stop it? Yeah, but I was looking for a different word. We were trying to stop it, to interrupt it. There we go, because he was trying to offer the black orb, and we needed the black orb not only to give it to Pierce because it's his, but also because we might need it to go to Lemuria now, right? And yeah, so we were able to enter the Great Gabomba statue. We saw that it was a whole mechanism inside of there, like full of technologies and stuff, even a pipe dream puzzle. And we solved everything, and then we kind of revealed the truth to Akafubu as well as he entered the statue later. And then we actually realized that the statue was not only a fake thing, it actually had a somewhat supernatural spirit or soul inside of it that spoke to us and also spoke to Akafubu. But Akafubu is like very reckless, he's very careless, he's very hasty. He's also not very humble. He needs to learn how to be humble in order to get the whole truth or all of the powers from the Great Gabomba. So the Great Gabomba is like, okay, I accept you, but like not fully, because you will still need to learn how to deal with other people in order to get everything I have to offer to you, which is pretty much Upside Energy, I believe. But then in the middle of that, Professor Craydon heard that, and then he was like, oh, but Akafubu has just left, and then you were going to tell him what he needed to do to get this magical Psy energy, right? What about us? Why don't you give it to us, right? We just got in here, we messed with the whole ceremony, we are intruders in this village. You should definitely give it to us, to Professor Craydon, the number one professor in the world, right? That's Professor Craydon to you. I was like, are you kidding me, Professor Craydon? You cannot do it. You cannot do those things. But then somehow the supernatural being, the Great Gabomba, kind of heard Professor Craydon. Maybe Professor Craydon has been learning how to be convincing, thanks to Jenna, right? Maybe Jenna's course has taught Professor Craydon something about how to convince people to do what I want the way it must be. So yeah, he convinced the spirit for plot reasons that maybe he could give those synergy powers to us instead of Akafubu. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what was the condition, but maybe today we'll figure that out more as we talk again to Akafubu, right? And then finally the ceremony was over, the day was over too. peers did join us. I do believe we got the black orb from this situation. And during the week, I was thinking that maybe the black orb was the item that we were missing to bring to Al Hafra and then make that ship to work because we did the other puzzle in there to kind of fix the ship. But in the end, it was saying that it was missing something else. This something else, most likely, is not just Piers, but also the black orb. But yeah, that's what happened last time. A whole deal, right, about Lemuria and the Kibombo and Piers and Professor Craydon, that's a villain, then Jenna as well, that has always been one. Let's see what's going to happen next. But before leaving Kibombo and then possibly returning to Al Hafra, I believe that's what the plot will do to us because they probably will want us to go back to the ship in there, right? Before doing that, I also do want to go back to the Great Kibombo statue if possible, so I can try to get the secrets we left in there, especially a genie, right? But I don't know, so I will do some side questing now that we've got a lot of plot last stream, and hopefully we can solve some more of these puzzles of these areas before really leaving them for Rio, right? Okay, all of that said, let's go for the stream them, right? Let's go to the game. And here we go again. I think that he has had enough for today. Yeah, today or last stream was like a... I also have had enough that day, right? Why am I trying to read the minds of Nern? I actually wanted to check it. There we go. I'm going to be the one to get the Great Kabomba's magic, you'll see. Yeah, so now we are also competing against him to try to get it, but I don't remember what I needed to do though. Dang, why did I leave that stupid room so quickly? Stupid Akafubu. Yeah, and then Professor Craydon played his game well, right? He played his cards well. After he became a witch doctor, Akafubu had no more reason to focus himself. It is good that he now has a new goal. He will have to work hard to earn the Great Kabomba's magic, yes. And so do we, right? Is this a man? Oh, maybe this is the sanctuary, right? We have met this old man, the sage, at top of the mountain just before getting to Piers. Yeah, I think now he's back to his sanctuary. Kibombo's peace is restored now that the ceremony has reached its end. Now the fate of Kibombo's people depends on how Akafubu leads them. I can't believe that Akafubu would change simply because he completed the ceremony. By the way, the people from this village, they didn't like Akafubu. With a good reason, Akafubu is very selfish. Yeah, this is the sage, okay. I couldn't for the life of me figure out how our warriors got to Indra without a boat. Indra. Indra was a continent? I think so, right? We have Angara, then Gondowan, possibly Indra in between Gondowan and Oceania, right? I think that's how the continents go. But I just found out that something has pushed Indra into contact with Gondowan. Yeah, so Indra is in between Gondowan and Oceania. Because Kibombo lies hidden deep in the continent, we rarely hear news of the Eastern Sea. Many in Gondowan fear the might of the Kibombo warriors, but we don't want to be feared. Now is the time for Kibombo to change its image. It won't be easy convincing them that we have turned over a new leaf, but we'll try. We think it is time to inform other villages that Takafubu has completed the ceremony. Maybe the people in... how it's called? Naribwe. Maybe people in Naribwe should know about that. I think they will be glad to know that we no longer pose any threat to them. I wonder what people from Majora is going to do about this, right? Are they still going to be upset about the invasion? I'm a mighty warrior trained from birth to be fierce. If you are feared, you are powerful. I'm supposed to start my being nice to people training on Monday. It's tomorrow already, right, Kibombo? You better do your best. Oh boy. Okay, we checked 3 houses. Or maybe I should say 2 houses. Let's go to this one, the inn. Now that the ceremony is over, I feel a touch depressed. Why is that? You guys didn't like Akafubu, so probably you also didn't like the ceremony. I wish you could have more big events like that soon. Are you saying it for real, or are you just faking it? Now that the witch doctor ceremony is over, I've decided that it was kind of fun. You see? So she was at first not liking it, but she changed her mind. Huh. I can't remember how long it's been since we have had any guests. Tell you what, if you stay at our inn, you can have all the freshly grilled steak you want. I doubt it. That's fake propaganda. I love Kibombo's famous barbecue monster steak. Wait, it's steak, right? I love Kibombo's famous barbecue monster steak with extra spicy herb sauce. It's a local treat that's fun to eat, but it's not nearly as fun catching the monsters. Yeah, hunting is hard, right? Welcome to our inn. It is 48 coins. Maybe now because we have the 4th party member with us, it's more expensive. How's our health? Like, how's our everything? We're good, yeah. That's fine. Don't worry about the beds here. We used to have insect problems, but not anymore. Because we sleep on leaves? We use a special bug powder on our beds. It's quite harmless to humans, I'll bet. That bed makes me itchy so badly. It feels like bugs are crawling all over me. Oh no, he's lying. Whenever I get itchy, I just rub some of that bug powder all over myself. That's probably not good to your skin. But never mind, the beds are not like with the leaves, right? We found a nut, nice. Maybe you can sell it. And I believe that's all I could find. The other warriors are busy hunting right now. They will not attack me anymore in the Kibombo Mountains, right? I hope not, so then I can finally finish exploring that area. The food supply for the whole village depends entirely on the animals they catch. With all of our battles behind us, we warriors spend our time refilling the village food supply. Yeah, which is something very good to do. You didn't come to Kibombo to get revenge on us for that raid, did you? No. Whew, that's good to hear. We are supposed to protect the village, but I feel bad for that raid. No one in Kibombo really wants war with our neighbors. We want everyone who shares this land to share peace as well. You should have done that before starting the raid though, right? Now I kinda understand if Major people is upset on you. Good old meat, I love meat, I can't wait until we get some. Goop, the smell of the sauce over the fire is making me so hungry. How long until we can eat? We get to eat normal animals again. They taste so much better than those monsters we have had. Lately, the monsters have been increasing and the animals are becoming more and more scarce. That's why everyone's so excited that we get to have nice normal steaks tonight. Ooh, I smell something delectable. We'll be eating some good meat soon. You don't think anyone will notice if I sneak a little nibble while I'm cooking, do you? I think the kids are very alert right there. They probably will notice you, yeah. If you're looking for treasure, look west of the river. Oh yeah, they brought that up, right? There was even something that made me believe there is a lighthouse there. The rocky peaks there are called the belly of the continent. Great treasure hides there. But also great dangers, right? Sure, our legends speak of much treasure, but no one ever seems to have found it. Interesting. Each year when the rains stop, our warriors look for treasure in the belly of the continent. Maybe the belly is hidden or the treasure is also, I don't know, but they all return empty-handed. I wonder what Oya meant when he said that our magic is deeply tied to the belly of the continent. Oh, interesting. So probably we need to get the Great Gabomba magic to solve this puzzle. That's what it sounds like. I haven't been here, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, but the Kibombo is spearhead poison is a tribal secret used for hunting only. We cannot lead or we cannot let outsiders have it, because they might try to turn it toward evil uses. But any weapon you sell, girl, can be turned into evil uses. Welcome, we have just the gear you need. I mean, she's not selling the weapons though, but... the only defenses we Kibombo need are our shields and our war paint. War paint? Is it the thing that the girl there told us about, like the poison? Our warriors think armor is for cowards. Oh no, I see, so they like to fight without armor, I get it. The weapons I sell in the shop are ones we do not use in Kibombo. You find it strange that I do not sell the weapons we make here, don't you? It's because you want to protect the village's secrets, right? Our warriors appear so strong because of the deadly poison on their spears. In a war, Kibombo spears would make a powerful ally. Because our paint is infused with the witch doctor's magic, we are safe from attacks. I would opt for paint in any battle, no matter how much armor my enemy were. I see, so there is some magic protection in there. But then what do you sell? A chainmail, that sounds good. It is good. No, because he has the chainmail already, right? The ticket to give it to Felix, yes. Before we do the shopping then, I'll need to reorganize our inventory. No, I didn't want to equip it. Sure, let's try buying more now. Oh wait, first, I forgot something. I need to give the chainmail to Felix. An ad that explodes. Okay, it's worse. A robe as well. It is better to Shiba. Yes. And it's also better to Jenna. There we go, we did get a lot of armor upgrades. What about the weapons now? A claymore. It's better than the pirate sword, of course, but I love my pirate sword. The light blade. The axe and the mace. No, I'm good then. Okay, let's save. Where else do I need to go? There were people up there, right? Hello? Now that Akafubu is our new witch doctor, we shall embark on a path to peace. The neighboring villages have no reason to fear our warriors any longer. This is a signal, or a signal fire. Wait, signal, right? This is a signal fire. We use these to send messages to neighboring villages. Yeah, it is signal, and then the other word that I was thinking was sign. Yeah. I hope these messages set our neighbors' minds at ease. I hope so too, but you gotta send those messages to Madra pretty much. I wonder if I can keep going until another village sees our signal and comes to meet with us. I don't care which village it is, just send the delegation fast. Well, as you are not sure about the results of your attempts, then I'm not sure if it's going to be effective, right? If the smoke is going to be effective to communication, but at least he's trying. Oh, I see. Now you must use the ice ability, right? We'll do it soon. Let me just be sure that I'm not missing anything else down here. What about you? The Great Gabomba's mouth will remain open until Akafubu has earned the gift of the Gabomba. Maybe I ought to sneak in there and get a look around while I have the chance. I will go back there, yeah. I want to look inside the Great Gabomba at least once. You don't suppose just speaking will get me cursed, do you? Nah. We are also going there and nothing happens. Is this a secret by any chance? It's not. You can see Ateka from the bridge in western Gondowan. Ateka, that's a new city. My grandfather told me so. Someday I'll be a warrior like my grandfather and I'll be able to see it for myself. If I'm ever going to be a warrior, I must build more muscle and master the art of the spear. Are you going to head to Western Gondowan, I think? But I'll need to cross the river and then I might need to get the Great Gabomba's magic, right? But that's unfortunate, the recent rains have swollen the rivers, yeah. It is too dangerous for us to allow anyone to pass. Crossing the river by canoe is much too dangerous. I would need a ship to get across. Oh, we can get a ship. I have heard that if you head west from southern Gondowan, you'll see the Eastern Sea. There are two continents in the middle of that ocean. Hesperia and Ateka. We have two other continents? Oh, Jesus. Hesperia sounds like Tales of Hesperia, right? Berseria, Hesperia, Zestiria, and Vesperia. So Ateka was a continent. I know I could find more animals and grain on the far side of the river, if only I could go. This seasonal monsoon, right? Or is it actually monsoon in English? Maybe it is monsoon, yeah. These seasonal monsoon rains have swollen the river and made it too dangerous to cross. Is that man alright right there? As soon as Akafubu became our recognized witch doctor, he became so much nicer. Akafubu gets so grouchy. I wonder if it's just his frustration taking over. Are you alright? Ooh, my back, it's been aching ever since that ceremony. I guess I really am too old to dance that night away, right? To dance the night away. I swear that's the last time I will ever let loose like that again. This song really sounds like Donkey Country 2, right? And the Animal Antics stage song. Especially the beats. And that wah that they do, right? I have heard that if you head west from southern Gondowan... Wait, I read that again. Yeah, there we go. So we checked everything. And then we have the stage. Let me check this first. I think I will use the Psy Energy Stone after re-exploring the dungeon so we can refill our PPs there, right? As I still have health and everything. I also don't understand this puzzle right here, if it is a puzzle, but it looks like one. Like there are directions on the ground, but then I don't know what are they for. I could be using Avoid, but I think that doing some fighting could be important, right? To level up and stuff, especially now that we got more defense and attack. I think maybe more defense because do not buy new weapons. Yeah, we got more defense, so you know, maybe now we should level up a little bit more. We might take these enemies better now. As they were kind of tough when we first came here. And then I will be also farming some money, so that's always useful. So let's look for the secrets I missed. What else was down there? I think this is the only way to go, isn't it? Never mind, there is also this right here. Or was this where I came from? No, it's not. Okay. I mean, maybe it is, because I can only go down from there. Good job. We got to the first room and I'm already lost. Wow. That's fine though. I will find my way eventually. This was the entrance. It was, right? Yeah, it looks like the entrance, sure. So it is the other side, okay. We got crystal powder. Is that... I was going to say that. Is that death? And then I was thinking I would be safe, right, with the new armor. They freaking have insta-kill abilities in this game. I'm hoping the chances for that to work were like very low. I just got super unlucky that in the first time they tried it, it worked. Yes, I'm leaving because I need Pierce to be getting the experience points, right? But at the same time, we haven't been very far ahead in the dungeon, so... Wait a second. Do I really need to leave? Because someone had a genie that could resurrect, wasn't it? I'm kinda pretty sure of that. But maybe it was Pierce himself. Oh! It was a spark. There we go, we have a chance. We don't need to leave anymore. Thank goodness I remember that. Good job, Felix. So let's go back. And it's also important for me to remember that in battle, right? Like, against bosses and all. Because so far, it is our only way to resurrect. Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, we need to kill him fast. There we go. We need Lash. I was hoping I could make that jump, but I can't, okay. That's the genie I should get. Stopping the gears won't change anything, right? having the feeling I still cannot go there. What am I not seeing? I mean, I think I can go on this blue cog. I couldn't. Yeah. Maybe I cannot get the genie, but I will try stopping the... But that's the thing. The mechanism in the bottom of this place, it doesn't stop like everything. It only stops the cogs at the top of this dungeon, right? So the ones we are seeing right now, they will keep on moving no matter what. And even if they stop, I don't know if I will be able to do anything. I'll be using a void just a little bit. The only one I can go on and try to jump is this one, but then it's too far from everything too. And then I cannot jump out of this one, right? Could it be something about the screws in there? Like, if only I had the drill ability, right? Yeah, they want me to fall there somehow, and then the way back is going to be by using Lash. But how do they want me to fall there at first? Oh. I mean, maybe I need to reverse the cog, like this red cog in front of me, it's going up. If it goes down, then maybe I can use it to get down there. It's worth a shot, right? If we can reverse everything. It kinda makes a little bit of sense to me. So I need to go to both sides, wasn't it? Definitely beat the Doomsayer first, because as his name says, he casts death, which is never fun. Vital move. That was just a physical attack, we take it. How was this again? Oh, okay. It did reverse already, right? Let me see if the theory that I got was right. It doesn't look like reverse to me. But I will go there still, just to be sure. Hey Scap, what's up, man? How's it going? I'm backtracking just to be sure that I'm not missing the secrets right now that we got Piers. And we are missing secrets in here. I'm just giving them another look to see if I can solve the puzzle. Oh yes, I finished watching the season of Black Mirror, by the way. And even the last episode, the one that I was saying that maybe Scap will like it more than me and everything, I did like it a lot. So I did like the whole season, basically. Yeah, now I'm waiting for you to check it out too, right? Oh, you watched that one? Yeah, it was much better than what I was expecting. I did have to go back to a summary to give me a recap of everything before watching it so I could remember the details. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy episode, right? With that one ending as well. Way to make a villain out of me? Wait, out of you? Wait, what? But then the villain there was like many villains, right? Even, I mean, I shouldn't say, yes, I shouldn't say anything because then I would be spoiling the others that haven't watched that episode. But let's just say that it's an episode full of villains that keep on showing up, basically. Yeah. But then what do you mean by way to make a villain out of me? I'm not sure if I got that. Oh wait, maybe I do get it now because of killing the characters in games. Okay, okay, yeah, like the players, right? I got it now, yeah. I didn't realize that when I was watching it because it was all thanks to the technology of the series, right? Of Black Mirror itself. As far as I know, we don't have the technology yet. But yeah, yeah, one day maybe. I actually hope not, but maybe it gets to that point. But it was a pretty crazy episode too, right? Especially how they return to the villain of the first episode as well, but in a different way. Even though like the way was different, but the character kinda was the same. Yeah, that guy, Space Fleet nerd being a total asshole at heart. Oh, that's what you meant? No, I was thinking you were talking about like the players, right? Because in that episode, the players are also seen as a villain. Because even though they don't know what they are doing, but you know, it's kind of portrayed as they are there to destroy the others. Although, who are they destroying actually? So there was also that problematic. But then regarding what you're saying, it's not like because of Star Trek or like sci-fi series that he was who he was, right? It was way more thanks to his traumas and how the other people treated him through his life, I would say, but then most recently at his work. And yeah, it was a very messed up character for sure. Not only in the first part of this story, but also in the second. But one thing that I noticed, at least in two of the episodes of this season of Black Mirror, was how they were getting us through the plot in some unexpected ways. There was one moment in this episode that was very out of nowhere. Actually, there were more than one, but especially one that I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like they are doing this in the middle of the episode, you know? That was like, bam. So yeah, I kind of like that because you were thinking they were going on one direction, but they were going a completely different one, you know? And then all made sense in the end of the episode. Because you'd be like, oh yeah, that's why they did that time at the middle of it, right? So this conclusion could be this way. I'll be like, I get it now. But the one thing that I didn't understand was why. I mean, I'll try saying it vaguely, right? But why this one character you're bringing up did not choose a different alternative to himself? That was the biggest question I had on my mind when I was finishing that episode, because he could have done something else to himself as well, you know? I mean, he could have done it since forever, actually, so why has he never done anything? That was what didn't catch me, you know? Yeah, but inside the heart of Infinity was more to his purest self. And he was still controlling of the girl, which is very not Star Trek. The thing is that he was isolated. Yes, that's why I think he was reacting that way too. When you are isolated the way he was, even though of course he kinda showed up his deepest and darkest feelings as well, um, I think no matter who showed up there would have a somewhat same, um, I don't know, result in a way. You would want to do that still because he was alone for like so long, you know? He was totally lonely and he was forgotten in there pretty much. So as soon as there was that opportunity, he had to go for something. Not that I'm saying that he's right, but I think I understand his crazy desire to do it, you know, because that would drive anybody crazy, I would say. Exactly, he was isolated for so long that, you know, he was like losing it pretty much. It got to his psyche. But then again, I think he should have chosen a different situation to himself. Like, he had how to do it. I just wonder why not? Why he was feeling so blocked to like do anything else, you know? And how could he not realize what his boss has done to him as well? Like, anyway, I just thought that he could have done something else. And maybe we would be getting even a darker ending in my opinion. Because imagine if he could escape from that reality. Yeah, I think that ending would be even more interesting than the one we got. I was trying, yeah, to go down there, and this is not changed. It's still rotating at the same direction, so I cannot use it to go down there. I already have an episode of TNG in mind for that situation. TNG? The Next Generation, I think, Star Trek. I did watch a video on YouTube of like a recap of everything. And then they were pointing out the references they had of Star Trek to the US Callister, right? I see. Yeah, they had many references. Even the face erasing thing was a reference too, of this one man that got accepted to the Star Trek ship, right? And then he was somewhat super powerful and OP, and then he suddenly did do that as well in one of the Star Trek episodes. Yeah, the video I watched was talking about that example as well. Yeah, this is the puzzle that I was talking about. There is a genie right here. I'm not sure how to get to him. I was thinking I could change the direction of the cogs. I mean, maybe there is still a chance. I will try. Yeah, maybe I need to maybe I need to stop them both, right? Let's go to the second half of this puzzle, yes. And then after we stop it in there, maybe these cogs will move in a different way, so then I could get to the genie. I will try that, yes. Believe me, anything that happens in life, there is a Star Trek episode for that. It's funny how the other day, I mean, but by the other day I mean like the past, right? At least I think it was a long time ago, but when you and also Pilot used to talk to me about Star Trek, I was mind blown to know that the episodes were very disconnected in a way, right? They do have like a major plot in the background, but the episodes were not straight up connected because everyone was talking about a different story on itself, right? So thanks to you and Pilot telling me about that, I agree that possibly there is an episode of Star Trek for anything in life because they did go into different things every time. Not necessarily just a linear and continuing story, right? It goes into like all sorts of places, but with a hidden story in the background. And then by the end of that episode, the freaking scene where the players are attacking their ship was so Star Wars like, and I haven't even watched many of the Star Wars movies, but I was like, this is a Star Wars, right? I mean, maybe it could have been Star Trek too. Like, does Star Trek have lots of aircraft crazy laser battles too? Maybe? But then I'm waiting for you to watch the rest of the season, right? Yeah. Definitely, there are at least two other episodes that I liked a lot. There was even this one that the guy that I was watching on YouTube today that he was discussing the episodes, he even got emotional by the end of the by the end of the review or like the summary or the impressions he had for the episode, right? He was getting emotional, and I get him in a way because it was a very impactful episode to me. Yeah, this season was very good. I'm happy that it was worth the wait, and especially after the previous season of Black Mirror that wasn't that great in general, or it was too experimental to my taste. So there are shows that are front to back connected, but the original series, The Next Generation and Voyager are usually standalone episodes. Like you can pick any one and follow it no problem. Yeah. So there are some episodes that are like non-fillers, right? I see. And then are they still going with Star Trek? I don't remember the answer for that. I wonder if they are still going with Star Trek and Doctor Who, by the way. Because another show that I kind of think that has been going on since forever was Doctor Who. So there are space battles for sure, but it's unlike Star Wars. They make an effort to work things out before needing to shoot. I see, with some negotiation maybe? Let's get to the other side. Speaking of Doctor Who, there was somebody, uh, maybe it was not from this one episode, but from another episode of this season, there was somebody that wrote a Doctor Who episode. Or maybe like it was the director or something. Yeah, I remember they bringing it up when I was watching the videos of people discussing the episodes of this season, and then they said, oh yeah, this episode was directed or made or wrote or written, right? Written by this person that also worked in Doctor Who. I was like, oh really? Yeah. So they did get some people from some sci-fi shows too, right? Maybe it was even an actress, and I'm not remembering this right. Like, oh yeah, this actress was in a Doctor Who episode or something. But in general, it was a very good season, so I'm pretty sure you like it too. And then watching people discussing the episode with more details and other ideas than you also feels very great, because then you notice, like, not only the crazy Easter eggs that Black Mirror does on itself, right? Oh yeah, this was a reference to the previous episode of the other seasons that I totally forgot about. But actually you see how those episodes speak to them directly too. But in a different way, of course, because everyone has your own story, so you're going to have your own interpretations of the episodes. But it's very nice to see how it hits the other people. For example, there was this one YouTuber that he is very artistic in a way, right? So the one very artistic episode of this season 2, he had a lot to talk about it once he saw it. And then he brought up many topics that I was like, oh yeah, you know what? You are right. I didn't think about this when I watched it, because he is very artistic. So I looked at the episode. Wait, at the episode. There we go. I looked at the episode in a different way. But then you are going back to a lot of the episodes you missed from previous seasons. Did you skip episodes from previous seasons? I think I missed season 1. Yeah, season 1 is going to be very different now, but it still shows you the Black Mirror vibe, right? Because that's where it was born. I kind of just caught whenever the house had it on. I see, interesting. So you did something just like what you were saying of Star Trek. You can pick the episodes randomly, and like you don't need to watch them in order. I would just say that there is another episode in this season that I think it is important for you to watch another one before it, but I do think you did watch it. You have watched Bandersnatch, right? Yeah, one of the episodes of this season has a connection to Bandersnatch a little. Not a very direct connection or like a very big connection. I was actually expecting to be bigger, but there is a connection still, yes. Bandersnatch was their episode that it was interactive, and I also think they should bring back more interactive shows, right? That you can kind of pick what you want to see next, or the paths of the episode, just like those stories on YouTube that by the end of the videos you can choose which video to go next, and then you kind of follow a certain path of yours to see the results of your choices, right, on the story. Yeah, there was one episode, I think it was episode 4 if I'm not mistaken, that was kind of connected to Bandersnatch. Yes, I think it was 4. I need to remember this, I remember it now, okay. I need to get on top of this, jump, then jump there. But now, man, I need to go back to Severance, as I was almost finishing the season 2, right? But I did not finish it. So I'll see if I can do it maybe tomorrow or on Tuesday. And I could consider thinking of another sci-fi show to watch. I kind of also wanted to watch this one Netflix drama that's recent, that many people have been talking about it, Adolescence. I think it's about like child's crimes, or that's the idea they give me, right? I have been curious about that one too. I should also watch a documentary. I normally love documentaries, but I haven't watched a documentary in forever. Here, I need to go on this, I can't. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Is there anything down there? Oh, you loved Bandersnatch? Yes, I liked it too, especially the interactivity, but then sadly we don't see that anymore, right? But actually, yeah, kind of Star Trek is all connected compared to Black Mirror, which is pretty much always standalone. Yeah, Black Mirror is very standalone, right? There are the Easter eggs, of course, but they are just minor details. Or not, so like there are specific episodes like this one, US Callister, and then a little bit of this one that I said regarding Bandersnatch, but it's still, even if you don't go back, especially for the Bandersnatch one, then it's just more fun when you know what's happening, basically. But you will still enjoy it regardless, right? Because the story is different. But I don't remember much of season 1. I mean, I remember the first episode. The first episode is iconic, right? It is very remarkable. And I remember the third episode, yeah, as well. But I don't know how was the second episode of season 1 anymore. Yes, I don't remember the second episode at all. Yes, is there anything down here? No. What am I missing here then? What? Wait. Down here? No. What am I missing? Okay. Run away. Use avoid a little bit. I cannot make the jumps in here because this is spinning on the opposite direction. Okay, so that's a no. In here, there is nothing down here, but there is something down there, but it's where I was before, wasn't it? So there was no point for me to jump here? That's what makes no sense. Oh! Oh my god, there we go. Seriously? I couldn't see that I could go down there? I thought it was the wall already. Yeah, I was like, I should be able to complete it, right? This is the path to go, so what was going on? Okay, now we can have the fights again, I take them. Although we have two of those guys, they are dangerous. They can cast death on us. Let's go with strong attacks. Maybe Mad Growth actually. Nova and Frost. Alright, we made it. So is everything going to run reverse now? If I do this? I think so. So let's go check it. Felix leveled up, and now he's a ruffian. It is not changing. This is rotating to the same direction. That's not good. I don't know what to do in the puzzle then. Oh yes, another show that I need to go back. Especially because they probably have been working on season 3 for some time already. So maybe as soon as I realize it, or like maybe sooner than what I expect, right? They are going to release season 3 of it. I'm talking about Euphoria. It is a very good show in my opinion. It's not for everyone because it has a lot of graphical scenes, but I kind of feel like it's very truthful. Like it's the way it shows everything, like the problems of people, right? It is very real in a way. That's why it's kind of impactful or graphical as well. But I still haven't gone to the second season because I always kind of forget about it, you know? It's funny how I started postponing it at first and then so much happened that I keep on forgetting about watching it. But I must because it is a very good show, I liked it a lot. And then season 3 is probably coming up, I don't know, somewhat soon. Yeah, I need to go back to Euphoria as well. Not to mention that there are extra episodes, like special episodes, that I also need to watch, maybe before even watching season 2. I will consider doing it after I'm done with Severance. There are many shows, right, Scap? Yes. I also need to watch Silo. Many people talk about Silo a lot. I wanted to watch that Netflix one that I said, Adolescence. Then what else do I need to go back? I tried watching Tales from the Loop. It is an Amazon Prime sci-fi show too. I tried watching it once. I thought the first episode was somewhat very slow, so maybe I was not in the best day to watch it. I was feeling sleepy, right? But people say it's another good show too, so I should check it out. There is this one as well that's called The Wheel of Time. Many people say great things about it. There is also that other one too. Is it called Westworld? I think it is. Although I kind of got spoiled on it already, so it probably won't be too impactful to me as it has been to some people. But Westworld, people say it's a very good sci-fi show as well. I need to go back to the Game of Thrones, by the way. But I'm finishing the third book yet. So I have told myself to like read a book and then watch a season, right? After reading the book, but I'm still at the third book. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I somehow did not get spoiled, thankfully. I have some ideas and theories of myself that might or may not happen. But yes, I'm also behind on freaking Game of Thrones still today, even though I know the series was disappointing at the end of it. Also, by the way, George R.R. Martin, where is the conclusion of the story, right? Because I believe people were crazy to like for you to give it an end. And it's funny that I think that he once stated that there is a good chance he's going to die before finishing the story. And that reminds me a little bit of what happens in the anime world with One Piece. Although the creator of One Piece already stated that even if he dies, there is somebody that he trusts a lot that can finish the story, right? That he has planned to end everything. So the One Piece fans can be calm and then relieved. But the Game of Thrones fans, I guess everybody's in pain forever, right? Because George R. Martin is... Nobody knows what he's going to do. Oh, you did start Westworld. Do you think it is worth watching? Even if I got a little bit spoiled, I kinda know a little bit what's going to be the twist of the show, right? I don't know details, of course, but I know the twist of it. I heard Amazon bought the Wheel of Time. Seriously though? Because my sister even told me that she loved the Wheel of Time. So probably the books are even greater than the series, right? I even considered watching the Witcher series, by the way, even though the Witcher is not something that I like that much in general. Like I think I could watch it, but I don't think I will love it. But even the Witcher, I haven't watched it yet. Yes, Game of Thrones was great up until the last few episodes. I see. Even with it going past the book content, I didn't mind. In a way, it's kind of good, because then you can be both surprised, right? You can be surprised by how the story could go differently in the book, and also how it goes differently in the show. I don't criticize it that much that they changed the adaptation. It is a little bit weird because for the two first seasons I have watched, they were very loyal to the book. The first two seasons at least. Maybe the third one will also be very loyal to it, I'm guessing. Which also makes me wonder how people could follow the show very well without reading the book. Because I did think that the series has a somewhat fast pacing with lots of characters from many different families and stuff, that when I was watching the series I could not stop thinking that, oh my god, thank goodness I read the book, because otherwise I would not follow this up, you know? I really wonder how people could understand the series the way they did, and also how the series could become this popular, or like how it was such a boom. How everybody could only think of watching it every Sunday or something, every time there was a new episode out. Because in my opinion, it was kind of hard to follow the story, especially if you don't read the books, right? I also think so, it's because the books were very popular as well, so many people did read the books. I remember that phase, that storm, that craziness of the Game of Thrones happened when I was in college. And I remember still today people like reading the books in the breaks of the classes, reading the books in the classes as well. And I was like, holy shit, you know, what's going on with this story? Like, why is that person carrying such a massive looking book, right, to college and everything? But people were addicted to it, at least here in Brazil. And there even used to be like reunions and meetings at bars, so people could watch the new episode together, you know? It was that crazy how Game of Thrones was in here. But then once I watched it myself, I was wondering, how could people follow up this story that's so confusing, full of characters that you don't remember, you can't, get all of the names right? But somewhat it worked. You haven't checked Wheel of Time out yet? Yeah, but my sister didn't like it. The books or the series? I just know that Rings of Power is a mess. Rings of Power is the one from The Lord of the Rings, right? I haven't checked it out either, yes. I stopped watching The Lord of the Rings in The Hobbits. But there are aspects you like about it. I have read the Silmarillion. Is it very different, like the Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings? Or you think it's kind of like around the same lines of both works, right? Yeah, they both were Amazon Productions. Yeah, yes, I know that. But especially because we haven't read the books of Wheel of Time, so probably we'll like it, as we don't have anything else to compare it to, right? But then the greatest fans of the books will be disappointed because they probably know that the books had more to offer. I'm still feeling like I'm missing more shows as well that I should watch. But those are the ones that click on my mind the most. Oh, by the way, you were a big fan of Ghost in the Shell, weren't you, Scap? I kinda think so. Did you see that there was a new trailer, concept art, but I think it was a trailer for like the next anime they are doing for Ghost in the Shell? I saw that I think 2 days ago, after the stream and before going to bed, but it was so late that I was like, oh, I will not post this on Discord, but I think it's important. Yes, they were revealing like a new anime of Ghost in the Shell and also the concept of it. And people were very happy because I believe it looked a lot like the manga work. The art was fully different than anything else. If I'm not mistaken, you liked Ghost in the Shell. I can be wrong though, but I have the feeling that you liked it. So in case you haven't checked that out, please go take a look, right? Oh! I did that by accident. There we go. Hi, Genie, are you going to fight me? He is! Okay, but I'm glad that I did that by accident, right? I was not planning that would happen or anything. I just pressed down accidentally. But let's be careful because they are powerful, right? So... actually, Jenna is the healer now. So let's use her to heal. Heal Pierce. Then... oh, actually Shiba also has healing magic. Heal yourself a little bit. Let's go with Planet Diver. And Cool. Okay, thank goodness I healed Shiva. I'm hoping that this genie won't run away because we solved the puzzle to fight him, right? So it's not the same as finding a genie in the wild. Because when they are in the wild, it's just like the Yuffie situation from Final Fantasy VII that you need to be looking for her again. But in here, no, I think this is a fight until the end. So I can take my time if I want. Jenna, you attack, right? And then Shiba heals you. And then Felix goes for another Planet Diver, and we go for another Cool. Wait. Maybe I could go for... Diamond Dust. Quake Sphere. Ouch. Okay, next turn Jenna is back to healing. Fly well on Shiba because I think Shiba doesn't have a lot of defense. Cure well on Felix. And then we go Planet Diver and also Diamond Dust. Okay. Oh, we did it. There we go. Nice. It didn't work as what I was planning. But we got the genie, right? There is always a way. It's steel. Interesting, let's check it out. Oh, first I should heal myself actually. Fly well yourself. Then Shiba. Pierce. And then Shiba does cure on Felix. There we go. Then save the game just in case as well. Nice. I believe that was the biggest puzzle of this area that I was missing, but there is more inside of the Great Gabomba, right? I think I did not write down this genie on my notes. Unless it was the genie inside of the Great Gabomba, but I think this was not the one, was it? I will check market, but I have the feeling I'm missing more things in the Great Gabomba himself, so I'll go back there too. So the Similarian reads like a history book or a Bible. It is not a narrative story like The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings. It is all about the many thousand some old years of the first stage of the Middle-earth. By the way, Scap, when I was listing the games that I have, and then I was like, oh, I could play this, I could play that, I did get the Lego Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings games, if I'm not mistaken, and I was considering playing them at some point. Have you tried them out yourself? I know the Lego games have this fame of like being fun, you know, all of them, so I kind of think they will be alright. They won't be disappointing or anything. But I wonder if these in particular will be like, oh, those are the best Lego games, or like they are very, very good, you know, if they are outstanding good in comparison to the others. But I do have them, and I was thinking maybe, you know, maybe one day I could try playing them. Oh, you got the Lego Star Wars on a sale recently? The one that I have been thinking about getting on my Switch is the Lego Harry Potter. Yeah, because they kinda get to good sales on the Switch. Also cool, welcome, what's up man, how's it going? You like it so far? How many Lego Star Wars are there? Is it only one, or are there like one for each movie or something? The other Lego that I think I have, is it the Batman? I'm not sure. But I do own a couple Lego games, thanks to the giveaways of Epic Games mostly, right? But I can't wait for the Saru Git series. Wait, what? I love the style. Ghost in the Shell, there we go. Saru Ghost in the Shell series. So you did see the adaptation, right? Yeah, it looked very different than my ideas of Ghost in the Shell. And you love the series too, right? There we go. So I did remember it right that you were a fan. You read the original too, so yeah, I'm hyped. There we go. You got Lego Star Wars, and then you have Lego Harry Potter too. I remember playing the Lego Harry Potter for the DS. Yes, I think it was the Azkaban one, if I'm not mistaken. But you kinda stopped. It's neat, but I had other stuff to get to. It happens, right? I think these Lego games, they don't feel like I don't know, a main dish. You know, they are only just like a side dish when you want to distract yourself with something more simple going. Then like, oh yes, I gotta beat this game right now. No, it's just like, oh, I don't have anything to do, let me bring this Lego game up. Yes, it's one of those games, isn't it? But haven't you tried the ones I was wondering, like the Hobbit one and also the Lord of the Rings one? Because in case you say they are great, then I can possibly consider bringing them to the channel at some point, especially now that I have Fridays that I'm going to be playing, you know, different games and shorter games in general. They could be nice games to be playing on Fridays, I think. But maybe you haven't tried them. But we did it, we got the genie here, so now I wanna go inside of the Great Gabombo, right? And I did solve the puzzles as well, so we can just go there. Oh, actually, yesterday you picked up a used copy of the Two Towers game for the PS2. Wait, so besides the Lego games that are also like main games for the books? Update me on that matter then. Is there one for each one? Because I know there used to be the PC games for Harry Potter movies too, right? And I remember they being very trendy back in the day, but I never played them because they were expensive, right? But I remember everybody that had them, they were super fans of it because Harry Potter was a big thing, right? Yeah. So it's a long time dream of mine to like, oh, one day I want to play the PC games of Harry Potter, even if they aged badly, or even if they don't look good, or if they, I don't know, have their problems, just because they were something big in my childhood, even though I never played them, but everybody else used to play them. So I always have been curious, but I didn't know there were big games for the Lord of the Rings stories as well. I only have only heard of this one for the Lego franchise. Okay, maybe I did hear about a Lord of the Rings game, but I didn't know it was like specific. It was like the Two Towers, you know. I was assuming it was more general, like, oh, it's a game that goes on in the Lord of the Rings universe. Not necessarily it would follow the plot, right, of the Lord of the Rings. It is a movie tie-in games. It's like Two Towers and Return of the King weren't bad for movie games. Maybe I should try them too, right? I mean, how's the gameplay? Yes, I would need to see the gameplay. If the gameplay is too... I don't know if it is... It's probably going to be, right? A lot of shooting and blazing and everything. Maybe it's not my favorite type of gameplay, but I do like the series, so I could try to adapt myself to them. But I think I will feel weird by playing them. I would much rather go to the Lego movie, to the Lego games. You did play Peter Jackson's King Kong game on GameCube a few months ago. That was amazing. I'm not a big fan of the King Kong though, yeah. If there are big villain names that I never really got myself into them, maybe I could point out King Kong, but also Godzilla. Yeah, I also have never been big on Godzilla. Not because I hate them, but just because I never felt the curiosity, right, to like go check them out that much. But Peter Jackson's games, is there a Titanic game by any chance? Or am I mistaken about his name? Give me a second here. Wasn't Peter Jackson the director that did the Titanic, or am I thinking of somebody else? Oh, James Cameron. Never mind. Yes, I was thinking of somebody else. I read Peter Jackson, but I thought of James Cameron. Okay. And then Jackson also was the director of The Lord of the Rings, huh? Interesting. So he had a King Kong game too. Yeah, I'm so bad on like names of actors, actresses, and now directors as well. I'm realizing that. I can never remember who is who did what, you know? But okay. And then I wanted to know if there was a Titanic game. Is there a Titanic game? There is a Titanic simulator? Are you kidding me? No, but this is like a shitty game, right? It is a mobile game? Oh my goodness. Okay, but this looks shitty, right? I wish there was like a real Titanic game, like Titanic Adventure Out of Time. What is this one? Is this a PC game? I think it is a PC game. Wait, what? Titanic Adventure Out of Time is an adventure point and click game. Also, by the way, we need to play more point and click games in here too. Is this not like an investigation game? It looks like an investigation game. It is also on Steam. Let me check the Steam page of this. Oh my god, it's creepy. What is this? Oh my god, even the studio logo is creepy, right? Is this not investigation? It should be an investigation game. The most famous ocean liner ever built. Man. Okay, this is kind of fun that there is a Titanic game, right? It is from 1996, so this is a classic. It has those animated cinematic with real people scenes, that it shows them speaking like in a movie in a way, but it's a game. It is a somewhat disturbing animation for that speaking though. Yeah, it's not like natural speaking. It's a little bit distorted, so but anyway, I wanted just to know if there was a Titanic game. There are Titanic games, but maybe not high quality ones. But that made me curious, yes. Titanic was not Peter Jackson, I know, it was James Cameron. I can't get the names right? You have been meaning to play that one, you know it? I know you are a point and click expert, so that's not fully surprising to me, but funny that I got to the one point and click that you are curious to play. Yeah. I need to play more point and clicks as well. Have you ever played that one that was like a cult classic? It's called Clock Tower. It is a horror one. It even got a remastered announced recently, right? I actually watched a YouTube video talking about the plot of Clock Tower, just because I was curious about the story of it. Yes, I think you would like Clock Tower too, as you like horror, but also point and click stuff, right? Let's exit this. Oh yeah! And you do love Resident Evil, right? Scap, you even played the one on VR, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember this right. I was even telling Subaru about this, because in one of the videos I was watching of game recommendations, but then they were recommending games that people normally don't talk about, or like they are retro games and stuff. There was this game called Deep Fear. Have you ever heard of Deep Fear? It was pretty much a Sega Saturn game, if I'm not mistaken, that feels a lot like Resident Evil, but it happens in an oil rig in the middle of the ocean. And then there is an infection, a mysterious infection that happens in there, and you need to investigate the infection in the middle of the ocean in an isolated oil rig. So it's kind of different, like the environment for it. And the person that was recommending that game said that people that liked the Abyss, the movie, I did watch that one, and also The Thing, and I'm pretty sure you are The Thing fan because you were even in that movie when I watched that. I remember that too. I was like, what is Kapluni doing in this movie? There is like a clone of yours in that movie, right? The Thing and The Abyss should like Deep Fear. So check this game out too. This classic game, this retro game, that feels a lot like Resident Evil. Yeah, check that out because I was like, holy shit, this is a lot like a PlayStation 1 Resident Evil like game, right? And then I know you would like it. I know Subaru would like it too. But because it is for the Genesis, sorry, not the Genesis, the Saturn, Sega Saturn, I think not many people have heard of it because the Sega Saturn was a somewhat more, I don't know, hidden console, right? At least to me, like I don't know many classic games of the Sega Saturn. Wait, you watched The Thing finally? You haven't watched it before? I could swear you were like a big fan of it. Hence why I was joking in the past that there was that clone of yours, right? I have played Starship Titanic at least. It is the same kind of old point and click, but it's more comical. And by Douglas Adams? Seriously? Oh, you know what? There should be Hitchhiker's Guides games as well. They would be crazy for sure, but you know what would be awesome if there were Lego Hitchhiker Guides games. I think that could work. Oh, you saw parts of it, but I finally saw it in the whole way through. I see, of The Thing, right? The one that maybe one day I will challenge myself to watch is Alien, because I know it is a classic too, and I know people say that it was iconic not only because of Alien himself, the villain, but also because of the protagonist, right? It was one of the first horror movies, or even one of the first movies to have like a strong female protagonist or something that made her very iconic for people. So that makes me very curious, you know, to like, oh, I need to see this actress in action or something, as she was a smart protagonist in horror movies. But yeah, it's the horror part of it that makes me like, maybe I will be super scared to watch this or something. But I do have curiosity, so maybe one day, just like how I face my fears to watch it, because I was super curious about everything. I have no regrets. I did get scared a lot, of course. I would still get scared today. But the story was really something crazy and something that felt very unique. So I have no regrets on watching the movies, right? Or even starting to read the book, but I haven't finished reading the book. I told you, Scap, that I watched. Um, how is it called in English? The Shining, right? Yes, I did watch The Shining by the end of last year. That was another classic horror movie that was in my backlog to watch it forever. Yes, I did watch The Shining. It was impressive how the takes, the camera, right? How beautiful they were. And then maybe one day I need to watch Doctor Sleep as well. Okay. Oh wait, it's down here, isn't it? I think it's going down now. But then I'm guessing you really liked the thing, right? I don't remember how it ends anymore, but I have the feeling it has an open ending, wasn't it? I think so. You should watch The Shining again. I remember that by the time I watched The Shining for the first time last year, I remember Havoc was saying that he watches The Shining every year. Yes, I remember that talk. He even listens to the soundtrack of it from time to time as well, you know? I do have the book of The Shining, by the way, but I don't know if I would read it anymore. Did you watch The Substance, Cat? Because I remembered how many other movies got inspirations or they made references, right, to The Shining, and The Substance was one of them. And it was an amazing movie that I watched last year. That I think that Demi Moore should have gotten the Oscar. Either her or the Brazilian actress, right, Fernanda Torres. But then the actress that got the Oscar was an actress from a movie that I haven't watched. Wait, what was up there? What's in here? Oh, okay, it's this puzzle room. Okay, so we can go down. And then this is the room that has the elevator and also the spirit, right? Gabomba Catacombs? Save? I'm scared of this. What the hell? This is not where I was thinking would be going, right? This looks a lot like Pokemon. Am I going to find a wild Pokemon if I walk in that tall grass? This feels so like Pokemon, especially Gentry, like Hoenn, even the music. I feel like, I don't know, Regirock is in here. Regigabomba is in here waiting for me. What is this area? Is this something that I can dig or something? Scoop? No? There is nothing. Oh wait. There is that in here. Gabomba Catacombs. Let me write it down. It's going to be important later, right? The Substance with Demi Moore. It is such a watch, man. You must watch it. It is so entertaining. I understand the people that complain about the ending of it, but it's amazing. Yeah, after I watched The Substance, I remember recommending it to everybody. Oh, there are encounters in here. Oh, it's the red demon. We're good. By the way, cool. The other day, I think it was yesterday actually. I think yesterday Piero told me that the pre-orders of the Switch 2 have started in the US. So have you gotten it already, or have you been changing your strategy? Because last time as well I told you to kind of see if you could import it from Japan instead of the UK, right? But now with the new situation of the US, probably you guys can get it directly from the US, right? Wait, you haven't watched The Substance yet? No, Scap, write that down, I don't know where, in your cell phone or something. You must watch The Substance. It is such an entertaining movie. Like, it was so good. It is amazing for the criticism it does, but also for the camera work, like the colors it uses, the artistic direction, everything is great. It has references to other movies as well, so you're going to love it. And then Demi Moore is fantastic in that movie, yes. There are weird moments, funny moments, horrifying moments. It is a complete movie. It is so worth. Yeah, definitely watch The Substance. Sadly, did not get the Oscar, right? It totally deserved the Oscar, yes. It also felt a little bit... How can I put this out? It is going to sound weird because I don't know how would like game developers make a game out of The Substance, for example, but for some reason I think that a game based on The Substance would be very fun as well, or even if it were, I don't know, a visual novel or a narrative, you know. There are some pieces of work that, even though I struggle to imagine them as like a real game, part of me kind of wish they could become a game, and I would list The Substance as something that I would love to see a game of that, even though I don't know how they would make it, you know? Yeah. Oh, you're still waiting on the Switch 2 because of the money? Yeah, man, I'm so good of not getting the Switch 2 like right away, right? Probably will wait more, cool, but you have been checking out the pre-orders, right? I remember Piero telling me about them yesterday. Until the American prices to see it myself. Wait, but then... Is it not going to be the same prices anymore? Like, is it not going to be $450? Because as far as I know, the new condition that President Trump gave the other countries like 10%, right, of tariff, so it would be, oh, it would be kind of close to 500 now, right? Because it is 10% of 450, so it would be $45 more. It would be almost $400, yeah. But it could go down even more then, okay. That is true, as things are kinda unpredictable, right? Maybe by there it could go down. Yes, I hope so as well. Also, hi Subaru, what's up, man? Subaru, I was recommending Scaploony, that game that I told you the other day, Deep Fear. Yes, I'm pretty sure Scaploony would love that game as well. It has a lot of Resident Evil vibes, and it goes on in the oil rig in the ocean. It's very different than like the city of Raccoon City, you know, it's another vibe. But a lot of Resident Evil gameplay and style, so I'm pretty sure you both will like that game. Yeah. At least we got Prime 4 on the Switch one. But Scap, from the reviews that I was seeing of people that have already tried the Switch 2 hands-on, I'm not sure if you check them as well, they have said that the Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch 2 is the most beautiful Switch 2 game. It is like mind-blowing beautiful, you know? Especially because it goes with like the 120 FPS and stuff, so yeah, people are saying that the Metroid Prime 4 is like going to be the best game on the Switch 2 regarding at least the graphics and the gameplay. Surprisingly though, this one YouTuber listed Split 2 as the most ugly looking game on the Switch 2 so far. Yeah, it seems like the Split 2 port for the Switch 2 wasn't very, let's say, perfected, you know, maybe they didn't have enough time to make it look better or something. And then unfortunately that other game, Dragon Drive, the one that uses the Joy-Cons as mouses, right? Basketball with a wheelchair, it lacks of personality. So it is a game that it does have a somewhat good idea, but because it doesn't have charisma, like the characters are very boring looking or something, then people will pretty much pass it, right? But yeah, people were going crazy for Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch 2. The rumors are like the Switch 2 prices and the Nintendo could take a loss. Oh yes, I read something very quickly about that. That Nintendo... I mean... I didn't check the news fully, so I can be wrong. You guys can correct me. But what I read on the headlines was that Nintendo knew in advance that they would have a loss by selling the Switch 2 in the US. Does that confirm with the information? Because like, Nintendo could take a loss, right? Making it cheaper. And oh yeah, it does add to that then, because the headlines I read were like, Nintendo knew in advance that they would have a loss by selling the console in the US. But then, honestly, it's not too bad, because people will need to be buying the games still, and the games could be their way to profit, right? So that could work still, right? At least I think so. And then I was going to also bring something else to discussion, because I'm talking about games that look great and stuff. Recently there was so far I think it is a Nintendo exclusive, but it's going to be also released in other platforms later, including PC and Steam. But I'm talking about Star Overdrive. Do you guys remember that game? So I heard two different opinions on the game, but from what I have seen of it, I felt like I would love this game. But then I also heard another opinion that was a little bit, I don't know, more critical over the game. But in general, I do think that Star Overdrive is going to be a great game. So I got really excited to try it at one point or at some point, because it is like Tony Hawk plus Zelda and like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, as you need to explore this one planet by doing tricks and stuff with your hoverboard of some sort, and you have abilities like you have in Zelda games, especially Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, abilities that will kind of interact with the terrain for you to solve the puzzles as well. And then there are even dungeons in the game that work like the shrines for you to complete them in order to get to the objective that you have in the game, right? That I'm not going to say it in here. But yeah, Star Overdrive that was recently released felt like a very fun game to play, a Zelda-like, especially the 3D Zelda-like style game, with a lot of personality, in my opinion at least. And it looks good as well, and also for a cheaper price than buying a, I don't know, a main Nintendo game, right? A AAA game. So I'm also throwing here the recommendation of Star Overdrive for you guys to check it out, because it looks very fun. But the other review that I checked that was more critical, they were saying that it tried to do a lot of other things that the other games do, but in the end it lacks on refination, like they should have refined everything, you know, because sometimes maybe you are doing a trick but then your hoverboard goes very far from you and then it kind of loses the rhythm or the pacing. And yeah, they were being more critical on it. They were saying that maybe this game that got ideas from other great franchises, that they could still do something else to give it more personality still. But to me, from what I have seen, I did like the style of the game already, so I'm not sure, but it convinced me enough for me to play it in the future, yes. Also, what I'm surprised about Nintendo was that they canceled China pre-orders a few days ago. Did they? I saw they canceling the American ones and Canadian ones. I didn't know they canceled the China ones, okay. I wonder if they are going to cancel the Brazilian ones too, right? Oh, the PS5 price is already going up? What about the PS Plus that I told you that they went up here in Latin America, right? Oh, they're going up in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not an easy time for us to be gamers, right? Yeah, check it out, Scap. Yes, check Star Overdrive. It looked amazing to me. Like from the scenes I saw, I was convinced. You know, like there was this one Brazilian YouTuber talking about it and like telling people to go after it. From the from his opinions of the game, I was convinced, especially because he compared it a lot to Zelda, and then I was like, okay, that's enough. You know, I would like to explore like in a Zelda game, the mechanics of a Zelda game, the dungeons of a Zelda game. So you don't need to show me anymore, right? I was fully sold. Even it has some problems. Like I'm playing Yono, the elephant game on Fridays. It has some bugs, it has some glitches, but it's still super great, right? It's charming, unique, amazing soundtrack. It has some puzzle basic or basic puzzles of a Zelda style too. So you know it's fun enough to me. And then this one looked great to me, so I'm down. Yeah. But I will also be waiting for some deals. But I was happy as well that they released it with a fair price. It is not like super crazy expensive at base price, right? So yeah. But then I was going to say that it's been rough times to us because everything has been announced with a higher price than before. Even the Inazuma 11 game, right, guys? I was kinda impressed that they were going to release it for almost 80 bucks because it was 70 bucks for the standard version, but it becomes 80 bucks if you upgrade the game to the Switch 2. So it's 10 bucks more, right? Extra. I don't know, it sounds too expensive to me. So yeah, there is nothing here in particular, but totally there is a secret about this area. And then because Inazuma 11 is a level 5 game, that worries me about the pricing for Professor Layton. Is it going to be 80 bucks as well? Then my plans of buying it somewhat soon are over, right? I had my personal goal of like, I'm going to buy the new Professor Layton game this year. Hopefully the Brazilian prices will be somewhat fair. But if it is 80 bucks, I'm dead. I would need to wait as well. But okay, that was my Gabomba exploration. At least we got the genie, right? Even if it were by accident, but I take it. Thankfully, by exploring the area, eventually you figure something out. Oh, that's the tongue. I wasn't sure what that was. I see, it's the tongue, so we can easily go out now. Okay. So the genie that I had on my notes was the Earth Genie, right? Okay, so I couldn't see another one. Now I wanna finish exploring the village, but also go back to the Gabomba Mountains. Because I wanna try getting the genies in there too, or the secrets. And I hope they won't be cornering me or like arresting me or like kicking me out of the mountains after I help them here, right? Now that they are in somewhat peace mode. They want the other villagers to know that they are wanting peace. So I think there is no reason for them to bother me in the mountains. How's my everything? Okay. I will ignore the Psynergy Stone, that's fine. But I think I interacted with everybody. And Akafubu didn't say anything in particular. I just can't quite grasp the Great Gabomba's magic. Still, I'm trying really hard to help everyone, just like the Great Gabomba said. Yeah, they kinda want me to leave. Do they want me to go back to Alhafra maybe, so I can get to the ship? I can either go to Alhafra or to go east. Because if I go... Sorry, I said east? No, east is actually the direction of Alhafra. I meant west. Because to west there is some sort of crazy river that is protecting a big secret, a treasure in a way. That could be a lighthouse, I don't know what's going on to west of this. But they also said that I would need a ship. Either a ship or the Great Gabomba's magic. Yeah, they kinda said it and it felt that way, that I would need maybe both of them, the magic plus the ship. But now I think I should go back to the mountain, right? And then possibly go back to Alhafra. Also, we should stop by Naribwe to see if something else has changed in there, yes. There was a genie down here, right? Maybe now I can get him. I also forgot to check the newest genie we got, which was Steel. but Pierce ended up having him. Yeah, there is this in here. Now we can do something about it. I see, there we go. That's Genie. Okay, I think we can get to him. To the Jupiter one. Then we use growth, right? But there are two paths. This one is to the Genie. Hello, Jupiter. Are you fighting us? He is. Okay. Let's go with Protect. Storm Ray. Now that the Genie had its Psy Energy blocked, it doesn't have physical attacks, so let's go. I mean, it has the physical attack but not power, right? Fantastic, good job, Shiba. Oh, it was not too bad to beat him either, so there we go. Who are you? And that's my second Wind Genie, right? So finally. Who was it? I missed it. Waft? What the hell is a waft? Calm a foe with soothing scents? And still siphons a foe's HP with a kiss. Does that mean like drain or like steal? I mean, is steals? Is that what's happening? Is steals HP? But let's set them for sure. He becomes a hermit. And he learns... Oh, but he's losing ply and everything? Nah. Give that... Make this change. He becomes a seer. What can you do as a seer? He can do froth and growth. But then I prefer him having ply, right? Give Steel to Felix, maybe? I don't have anybody to keep this. Maybe Jenna? But then Jenna is going to become a swordsman. I mean, Jenna gets Astral Blast. I love Astral Blast. But I don't think those are very useful Psy energies. Maybe Shiva? She can still do Cure. Okay, that's good. And then Jenna is like what? Jenna lost her curing abilities. But then... Pierce can cure. I don't know, leave it like this for now then, I'm not sure. Okay, so what else is in here? It feels so good to have this variety of energies because now we can solve the things, right? There is a whole path. Oh! Okay, I think I remember this. This is the beginning, right? Yeah. But the guards are not in here anymore, right? Because we finally don't need them to be... Um, what is the word? To be guarding, or like... There is a better word. Patrolling. To be patrolling the mountains. So what else could we be missing in here? I still don't understand what was the point of that box that had a bone drawn on it, right? Like I think it was dog food, right? But I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the entrance. I'll be using a void just because I don't think these enemies are going to give us a lot of things or experience points or anything. Hi X5, what's up man? How's it going? X5, you haven't seen much of the Inazuma 11 conference, right? Because you didn't want to get spoiled. But the pricing, man, the pricing was expensive, wasn't it? Or were the Inazuma games always like that before? At least on Steam, maybe it's cheaper than buying it for the Switch, right? What was this again? I think that's just a shortcut, isn't it? Yeah. But I'll try it. I don't remember what was that actually, so... But I'm scared X5 because level 5 did that to Inazuma, so maybe they will do the same for Professor Layton, right? Why can't they drop the Professor Layton games on Steam, by the way? If Inazuma is on Steam, why can't the freaking Professor Layton games too? You cannot recall the price on the Inazuma 11 game, since I know this game since a little this year. I never had a Nintendo console. Yeah, but for you it was a little bit better. Because I believe the price I saw was probably for the consoles, right, in general, and then it was $70. Oh yeah, this is just a way back. Fine, and let's go back there then. I will also do this just in case. But if I'm not mistaken, they said that the Inazuma 11 new game has like every I kinda saw something like that too, you know? What I saw was that it would have the complete story, so basically the game would show you every character pretty much. I'm guessing from the anime, you know? But then at the same time, it's not like porting every single game as one, is it? Could it be like a fully remake? I saw something like that too in the trailer, now that you're saying it. I just thought they would go through the whole anime plot, but not necessarily that they would be remaking the previous games, you know? Also, by the way, X5 and Co, I'm really wanting to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition. So I think I will probably add it maybe after Golden Sun 2, right? I don't know how long is it going to take us to beat this, probably some more time. But I'm really thinking about getting Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition as one of our upcoming next games, you know? And I think it could have been a good intermission game between Golden Sun and also maybe another long RPG title or adventure game, or maybe a platformer. I don't know, but I have been thinking a lot about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition, yes. And I need you both to help me out in that game, or I may not be able to win against Merrick Ishtar. Because only those poor souls of yours that have tried Forbidden Memories, right? You guys felt the pain of Forbidden Memories, could have the bravery to like beat any other Yu-Gi-Oh game and help me out to do the same, but I was not infected by the Forbidden Memories yet myself. So I don't know if I have the guts, if I believe in the heart of the cards, or in the curse of the cards, or in the curse of Forbidden Memories, you know, to like win. But don't remind me of those memories. I'm sorry though. Yeah, right. You don't know about that one? I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition is a very... It is a simple game, right? But I don't know, I think it has a charm. It's... Don't listen to me, I'm full of nostalgia pretty much. Yes, I'm full of nostalgia. And you know what's funny? When I think about playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition again, as it is a Game Boy Advance game, it also makes me wanna play the Pokemon Pinball game. Because there was the Ruby Sapphire Pokemon Pinball game as well. I know the other one was a Game Boy Color, right? The first one, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, it gives me this memory of the past, of playing Pokemon Pinball and also Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, if it is a full-blown remake going full on it, then maybe it has more content than expected. So it makes like less worse to think about its price. But then again, it is still expensive, so it is not fair, right? Maybe a short game that I recently watched and it's like really bad that makes it good. Wait, maybe a short game that I recently watched and it's like really bad that makes it good? Are you talking about Forbidden Memories? Because Forbidden Memories is really bad, right? There is no doubt about that. Oh, okay, it's not related to Yu-Gi-Oh, but then I lost the context. Like, what were you talking about then? You mean that maybe I should play that? Like a short game that you recently watched? I'm not sure. I got confused now. But I have been thinking about playing it. Also, by the way, how has been your both Metal Gear playthrough and also your Suikoden 3 playthrough? Oh, it is a game that according to how long to beat it takes 90 minutes to beat it? It's called BCV Battle Construction Vehicles. How is that like? Is that like... how is that game called? Gear something? Wait. Twisted Gear? No. Twisted something, isn't it? The one that the crazy cars are destroying themselves? Subaru knows that one. I remember he... Twisted Metal, yeah, that one. Yeah, there was going to be a movie, right? Or a series, a show for that. Yeah, and Summer knows about that series. I remember that. Is it like Twisted Metal then? The BCV? A series, yeah. I'm kinda still processing the memories of mine, not the memories of Forbidden Memories. X5, don't worry, right? Of that talk that we had. And then Summer is waiting for season 2, yeah. And you did like it, right? I remember you liked the series. But sort of, it's a game like that, but with construction. You know what? Let me Google that very quickly. BCV? BCV game. Oh. When you said construction, I was thinking you would build the car yourself, but actually it is a construction car, right? It's a construction... How is this even called? A tractor? Is it tractor the name for this in English? I'm not sure. Let me see. Translate this word to me. It is tractor, okay. So it is a straight up translation from Portuguese. It is a tractor game. Why does it look like a PlayStation 1 game? Oh, because it is a PlayStation 2 game. I see. And then you were saying that this is only 90 minutes to beat? Well, I will give it totally the uniqueness award, right? For this concept and idea. Definitely, I haven't seen anything like this before. But then you were trying it? Like, what is your story behind this game? Like, behind this hidden gem? Welcome back, Scap. We are talking about the crazy game X5 learned about, right? BCV, Battle Construction Vehicles. I will tell you, the story is like really bad. I mean, if it has a story, even I'm impressed. It felt like a straight up tractor battle game. But you saw a YouTuber playing it for like 30 minutes. And I was like, this looks so meme that I love it. Yeah, it sounds very... You know, exotic, but in a good way. It is a refreshing idea for sure, even though it also feels like Twisted Metal, like I was pointing out, but it's not Twisted Metal, it's different. It reminds me the day that I learned that there was a scooter game for the PS1. And I'm not talking about Frog Detective, right? That had a scooter minigame too. Because I remember that in my childhood, my friend, the same friend that introduced me to Roller Coaster Tycoon and The Sims and Worms Armageddon and also Sonic R in his Sega Saturn, he used to love riding a scooter, even at home. And one of these days I was curious to know if there was a scooter-based game, you know? There should have been. If there is a BMX game or a skating game, they should make a scooter game as well, and there were scooter games for the PS1. So it reminds me of that, like a different crazy idea that you wonder if somebody made a game of it, and then they did. Just like earlier today when I was talking to Scap, and then I was curious to know if they have made a Titanic-based game, and there are Titanic-based games, one even that Scap wants to play it himself, a point-and-click one. So yeah, those games that have refreshing ideas, you know, they are good distractions. So the story goes like this: you are the son of a construction worker who passed away, and then your grandpa finds you and tells you that you need to revive his business by getting contract. How do you do that? By fighting the rival corporation in a battle with construction vehicles. I mean, the plot is good. I don't think that's bad. It's simple and direct, yeah, but it's good. You know what this is remind me to? This is remind me a little bit of I Am Bread. Yeah, that's another crazy game I wanna play here someday. I will suffer, the gameplay sucks, but the plot of it makes me super curious to understand it, you know? It's about the guy that lives in the house, asking himself if he's getting crazy because he has been seeing the bread, right, the piece of loaf, pretty much platforming around his house. So I need to understand, like, is the guy going to be crazy? What is uh, the psychiatrist going to say in the end? Like, you're just imagining it. There is no loaf of bread, platforming in your house or anything. I'm very curious. It's simple enough, but I'm very curious to know what's going to happen to that guy's psyche, right? Yeah, I am Brad. Yeah, I'm going to play it someday here. I actually tried in the past, but my old computer couldn't handle it. But then I was also wanting to know, X5, if you were back to Metal Gear Solid or even Suikoden 3. Because lately I think you have only been playing Baldur's Gate 3, right? Have you even go back to that one other game we were playing? The one with the... how was it again? It was like in space, and it had like a visual novel style. There was something about the dog as well. Yeah, the visual novel one. You search for the devs of the BCV game, yeah, and they made Soul Hackers 2, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. Oh shit. Yeah, he has been playing it for the first time. He only used it to watch his brother playing it, right? He's going to be back to it, okay. Regarding Dragon Quest, I can't wait to play Dragon Quest as well. I remember back in the day when we were doing Final Fantasy here, I used to be more... I don't know, more certain that I would go to Dragon Quest, sooner than today. Today I kinda don't remember it that much, or I don't think of it that much. But we must play Dragon Quest. Yeah. Avoid is off, so the random cards are back, right? I think I'll use it again. It makes my throat really dry, so I can't get through an hour of it because of reading dialogues. In my opinion, you read everything very fast. I mean, to be fair, when I was watching you playing Persona 3 Reload for the first time, I didn't think you read things that fast. But in the narrative game, in the visual novel game, you were reading everything very fast. So maybe you could, slow down a little bit more, so you don't feel that in your throat. It's his first time. He knows the story kind of, bits and pieces, but never played it himself. The dog is not in here anymore. Let me use Avoid again. We could never check this area, right? Because there were guards in here too. Oh, but they bring me back to this? Okay, so never mind. We only had to go above the guard. I see. So I don't have anything else to do in here, I think. Besides this box. That has been a mystery, right? Inside of this, there wasn't anything either. Yeah. By the way, Scap, you still have never played... how is it called again? Beyond Good and Evil, right? I remember recommending that game to you in forever. And as we are talking about Metal Gear Solid is a stealth game. And one of the few stealth-like games I have played was Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil is such a good game. I know you must play that too, man. You are going to love it. I have no doubt you're going to love it because it is like a stealth plus Zelda-like action. Yeah, it is a very good game. It even has those feelings of old games too, because it is of course an old game, but it has the vibe of an old game, you know what I mean? So it feels like as playing an old PC game as well for the graphics of it. It is also a very immersive universe it creates. So I did love that game a lot, hence why I was hyped for the sequel. But then the sequel got into some trouble with the creator of the franchise, and then Ubisoft kinda still says they are going to release it one day, but then who knows what's happened to Ubisoft as well. But definitely go play it, Scap. Do not forget to check it out because I know for sure you're going to not like it, you're going to love it. If you tell me that you did not love it, I'm going to be very surprised. Because it has everything a Zelda game has to offer, plus the stealth part of, I don't know, a Metal Gear-like game, you know? Not to mention the story itself, that's very interesting. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get the Dragon Quest 1 plus 2 HD 2D when it comes out, to have that to be your first Dragon Quest experience. So I kind of think as well that it would be the best to me too. But I wouldn't mind that much playing the original either. Yeah. I think that not only talking about Dragon Quest games, but also Final Fantasies, like the first ones, I know they're going to be hard and tough and they have aged and everything, but something inside of me wants to play an OG game again, you know? It's been forever since I played an OG game like that. But definitely playing the remakes would also be great, because they look amazing with the new graphics, right? Not to mention that they are going to get some extra content. Yeah, in the last trailer, one of those Dragon Quest remakes, they were going to get an extra content too. The thing is that on Persona 3 Reload, you have moments where you can just stop reading dialogues, or it is very much reduced because of the narrative presented to you visually. And in the visual novel, you aside from little visuals you need to read everything to know what's going on. I see what you mean, yeah. The environment of the visual novel doesn't tell you everything you need to know, right? That's why you need to follow the dialogue. I see, yeah, some things happening, for example, Persona 3, some animations that you don't need to read them to understand them, right? Like the interactions, the gestures, and everything, yeah. Yes, Scap, I'm saying that because I don't know when it's going to be the next time I'm going to remember that you haven't played Beyond Good and Evil, and I know it's one thing you must do. It is a classic that I know it's going to have everything you love in a game, right? And then maybe one day we're going to get to the sequel, maybe when the sequel comes out, then I will remember you again, I'm not sure. Yeah, we have so many games and so little time, but that's why we need to be pushing ourselves like one and another here a lot, right? Because if you don't do it, then we're really not going to play them. So yeah, there are also the 1 to 3 SNS remakes that were fan translated. You're still talking about Dragon Quest, right? Or now you mean Final Fantasy? No, you probably mean Dragon Quest. Also, I forgot that you asked about Suikoden 3, yes. You got stuck! Welcome to my life! Isn't it bad to get stuck at games? That feels so Golden Sun to me. While trying to recruit someone. Had to look up... You looked... X5. Where was your chat, man? For you to make questions. And then they could help you out. And then you got unstuck now, nice. But I haven't done much of it, we're taking it easy. I also think that getting stuck probably, I don't know, drained a little bit more from you, right? So you kind of feel like, oh no. Yeah, when I got stuck in this game, I was also feeling more disappointed, you know, or like less hyped to play it. But thank goodness now things are moving on again. It is very depressing when we get very stuck at games. Oh, you are playing Yakuza Kiwami. Bookmark is the one that likes those games. She likes Yakuza or Yakuza, right? And also, I mean, I'm guessing that she would also like Mafia or something, but definitely Yakuza. By the way, have you guys ever played Shamu? Because the other day I was reading an article about the most revolutionary and influential games ever released, and believe it or not, Shamu was the number one game. Yeah, in that list. Even though it is not as popular as, I don't know, Zelda, Mario, and some other classics out there, it was number one because of the new take on the narrative, on how it added mini games to the narrative and stuff, and also how the time of the day changed the actions of the NPCs. It was something new to that time, it seems like, to have a game that the interactions with the NPCs were changing more than often, more than normal. Thanks to like, oh, in each day they would be one way or another, and then the mini games. I didn't read the thing like fully, I don't remember, but I remember getting to that one idea that made them to get that game as like first place. It's because they innovated with the NPCs interactions, and probably that brought a lot of life to the game, right? And then many other games after it started changing their NPCs in a more alternate ways as well. Like, oh yeah, if you interact with this NPC this way, you get this result, but if you try it the other way, it's another result. And then something like Majora's Mask as well. I'm not sure if it was released before Majora's Mask, but that's the impression I got from Shenmue. So I was impressed by that ranking, right, that I saw. So I have a lot of games to choose to play, so not feeling like, what do I play? But then you're not finishing anything, right? X5, that's the problem though. I have played Suikoden 1, I loved it, but I have only heard amazing things about the second one. Are you also getting the remakes, Scap? To be fair, there are already some good deals on the physical copy of the Suikoden 1 plus 2 remakes, or remasters. I'm not sure if they are remasters, maybe remasters, right? And I don't know, maybe after some more time I could consider getting it myself, like the physical copy even. There are some good deals already for them. It's not like 300 reais anymore, which is like the normal price, for a physical copy of the Switch 1. No, I have been finding it for at least 240 reais, 250 reais in some stores. It's not too bad. But then regarding Suikoden, is it Suikoden or Suikoden, by the way? Maybe it is Suikoden, but I have always been saying Suikoden. But maybe it is Suikoden, right? I also must play it. Yeah, I need to play that and Wild Arms. Multiply the enjoyment of 1 by 10 with Suikoden 2. There we go. It is a really good game. Dragon Quest 1 to 3, it was like the fan-made SNS versions, alright. Listen, the game never tells you that you need to do a certain stuff in order to progress the story at all. I mean, that's an OG game, so that's how it goes. The game may not tell you everything, right? You got stuck for like 8 hours, so you got annoyed by it? I mean, at least you gave it 8 hours, so I forgive you, yeah. Because normally other people would be way less patient, right, to try more things. You tried it for a bit, but just for an hour? Oh, you mean you tried another game? And then Shenmue is interesting? I'm not sure how to feel about it. Because it's funny that I love Persona, but I kinda don't see myself enjoying many of those realistic Japanese life like games like Shenmue or even Yakuza, you know. I don't know, they never got to me that much, but Persona does. And Shin Megami Tensei hopefully will do as well. But between Shenmue and Yakuza, I think I would go for Shenmue, yeah, because Yakuza, I believe it's going to be too crazy for me, right? Regarding the mafia stuff and the shooting action, and yeah. I think Shenmue will be a little bit more normal. I have not, I know its main team at least. I'll get the remakes eventually, the remaster, right? Yeah. I do want to play 1 again, the Suikoden 1, it's been forever, and then 1 plus 2 are connected, that is correct. Can you do something like... I mean, I'm not sure, maybe not, but can you like use your save file from the first game to the second one? No, right? Because sometimes these games that are very connected, they can recover data from your first save file. Wait, you can? Okay, so Suikoden 1 plus 2, they do have that? Alright, so Scap definitely play Suikoden 1 again, so you can then transfer your data for the sequel, right? I was just guessing it, but nice. Yakuza is not a normal Japanese life game at all. Yeah, but then Shenmue, I think it's a little bit more, right? It is a freaking journey. I know that Yakuza is famous for having tons of minigames, like all sorts of minigames, right? Anything minigames. Let's just say, yes you can. I'm still sad that Yakuza is leaving Game Pass. Have you played the on Game Pass at least before it's leaving? But I have the feeling, I can confirm that, but I have the feeling I have Yakuza. Did Epic Games gave that away before, like, or did they give it away before? I have the feeling I have that. Or am I too crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe the one that I have is Mafia, right? I'm actually checking it right now. Let's see. What about Hitman? Do you guys like Hitman too? I think it's around the same lines. Yakuza. No, I don't have Yakuza, okay. But I do have... I don't have Mafia? What is the one that I'm thinking then? What? Is it Hitman then? Oh, I do have Hitman. I have Hitman 1 and 3, right? Interesting. So I don't have Yakuza, huh? Okay. I kind of felt like I would have it. Ku has only played the first one, so which one is leaving the Game Pass? The most recent one? I don't have a PS1. There we go. Oh, you have a PS1 file still that is transferable to Suikoden 2, but it would be worth it to go through the story again. I see, I see. Did you buy the second game too? Oh, never mind. Only now I got the wink. Yeah, it reminds me of when I was playing the Chrono Cross games, right? Yeah. I remember that when I had to change the discs. Man, changing the discs on my PS1 was something else for sure. But the worst, the craziest thing I have done on this channel regarding, you know, the consoles was totally when I was playing freaking Phantom Hourglass, The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. There was a moment that the game was asking me like, close your DS so we can add a stamp on the map. I was like, what? And surprisingly enough, there was a way to close the DS. So, woof. I escaped from one, right? But I could not believe a mechanic like closing your DS is a mechanic. Damn. Okay, but then what about this crazy box? Like, it's for nothing? I'm here worried about it for no reason? Because I cannot go down from up there, right? To interact with the box either. Let's take the passage again. Not sure about the remasters, but in Suikoden 2 you can use the data from Suikoden 1, then in Genso Suikogaiden, the visual novel spin-offs, you can use the save from Suikoden 2. Only the Japanese version though, and then in Suikoden 3 you can use the save from Suikoden 2. Are you kidding me? It keeps on going like that? I don't know about 4 and 5, I don't remember those. You don't want to remember the fourth one, wasn't it? The worst one? Which is like the Fight Club of the Suikoden. We don't talk about that one. It's the fourth one, isn't it? I think it was. Hitman could be interesting. Oh, Jesus. Oh, all of the Yakuza are leaving? No. That's the Fight Club one? Okay, okay. Another code has only DS mechanics in its puzzle, so I get the pain. Another code. Another code is the one game that got a version on the Switch, wasn't it? That one with the girl. That's, by the way, a game that I should play at some point. I never thought of it like this, but I want to play that at some point. I'm going to add that to my rank 1 backlog. Let me just write a note in here so I can do it later. Another code. Yeah, I'm interested about that game. There we go. Or it's the other M of Suikoden, at least, I see. They got a remake? Yes, yeah. Recollection, yeah. It is... I was interested about that game. It's just bad that it's expensive, like full price, right? But it is a game that I'm curious, together with the Famicom Detective Club games, including the third one that was a new title, right? Ennio the Smiling Man or something. That's by the Metroid director. He's the one that created it. I was mind blown when I was watching the video about the Tomodachi, right? Tomodachi Life games. And the Metroid producer as well, the same guy, the director, he also came up with the first Tomodachi Life game that was exclusive to Japan. So this man has worked on so many different things, from like Metroid to Famicom Detective Club and Tomodachi Life. So yeah. He takes any job, right? Nothing there, okay. Yes, I think I'm done then. The area that I thought that was a puzzle, there is nothing, and there is only the freaking dog food-like bot that I can't do much. And I got the genie there, I solved that puzzle, I cannot go down here. Yes, I think I'm done with the Kibombo Mountains as well, so let's leave it and go back to Naribwe. What time is it? It is 11:32. Let me at least try to record the TV show on my phone, but probably I won't be able to watch it because I need to be checking my phone an hour and a half after I pause it, but normally my stream takes more than that, right? But who knows, maybe we end earlier, I'm not sure. But you also need to get my phone, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. There we go. So we are going east, but there is a chance that I should be heading west. But to me, what makes the most sense is for us to go east. So I hope I'm not wrong, but if I'm wrong, at least I'm rechecking places and re-exploring, right, and solving puzzles. But there's also a chance that I'm going on the wrong direction. Let's go check Naribwe again. Right here. Is the city different now that we had the situation with the Kibombos? Yeah, maybe it is different. Don't tell me you just came back from Kibombo, we did. You must be really brave to have made it there and back again. No, but the Kibombos are peaceful now. Who would travel to Kibombo right now? It's not very safe right now. It is. I didn't see any Kibombo soldiers in the mountain pass. Where did they go? I'm so glad the Kibombo aren't lurking over us in the hills anymore. They were here, they were there, they were everywhere. By the way, Subaru, the other day we were talking about the Tazos, right? That were very nostalgic to us. And when I was eating my dinner before starting the stream, I remember that, and then I checked the video of the Tiny Toon Tazos. And that video was my entire childhood. I was like, I remember this one Tazo, I had this one. I was only sad that the person of that video, maybe I'll look for another video later, but the person of the video was not getting the Tazos one by one and like showing us the animation, right? They were with two scenes on each Tazo, so they, if you move them, they show you two different sprites, right? The person was the person was just showing them in his album, but I wish they could bring them, you know, closer to the camera and move them. But still, I could remember them again, and then it was my childhood. Some soldiers came through here looking for a guy named Pierce. They looked unhappy that I had never heard of him. I mean, we're not soldiers, but we were also looking for him. What kind of a name is Pierce? I'm not one, certainly. It's because he's from Lemuria. So I guess people in Lemuria, they have different names, ancient names, unique names. Strangers to our town would do well to visit the fortune teller's hut. Okay, she's saying the same thing as before. Maybe not much has changed in here. I mentioned Magma Rock to a traveler the other day and he was very intrigued. I can't be sure, but I think he might have headed in that direction. Magma Rock, is it what's past the river? I don't think anyone can reach Magma Rock now, the river is too deep. It is what's past the river. So that's where there is a secret, right? The fortune teller predicted that the Kibombo will settle down for a time, so now they know it, okay. I hope for all of our sakes that he is right. The fortune teller has never been wrong, but I can't imagine that the Kibombo would ever really calm down. I'm more worried about the major people now. A man came through a while ago, he said he was going to Kibombo. It is Piers. He hasn't come back yet, I think the guards in the mountains caught him. No, Piers is with us. If the man they were looking for has gone to Kibombo, they are better off waiting. Kibombo is a dangerous place for outsiders right now. I saw smoke rising from Kibombo. They were trying to say that they are calm now, right? Were they having a bonfire or something? No, they were trying to send you a message that you don't need to worry. That smoke's been rising from Kibombo for a while. I doubt it's just a fire. Yeah, because it is a message. The smoke coming from the Kibombo mountains is coming from a signal, right? A signal fire. The signals are hard to read though. Whoever's sending them isn't terribly good at it. The signal says something has ended, yeah, or maybe has been chosen. It's saying the two things. It's so hard to figure out. I wish they were a little better at smoke signals. Then we have the sage here. It is strange, as hot as it is here in Gondowan. If you head south, it's bitter cold. The land of Tandaria is a frozen wasteland that deserves its name. The cold of Tandaria stifles virtually all living things. Compared to that barren land, Gondowan's heat is comforting. And then we have the houses, right? Oh, wait, we can do something there now. I guess those warriors learned much about their future from the fortune teller. You should do the same, bring your items to him just as they did. The power of the fortune teller is great, anyone who listens to his advice benefits greatly. Yes, we don't know how to use whirlwind, but now we can. Our fortune teller has been saying some horrible things lately. He has been telling everyone that our peace shall soon sleep. It's not very comforting. The fortune teller said that the power of nature would rekindle? Or rekindle? It sounds more like rekindle, but maybe I'm saying that because of Amazon. Amazon's kingdom. Would rekindle the advance of civilization. But which is better, an advanced civilization or a peaceful one? Definitely a peaceful one. Black Mirror showed me that. I wish Digimon World games come to PC like Dawn or Dusk. It's stuck on the DS just like many other games, like the Professor Layton games. But as Capcom figured a way out to bring the Phoenix Wright games from the DS to Steam, Level 5 can do the same, right? Because if Phoenix Wright could do it, why Professor Layton could not do it? So at least since Catriel Layton, which is the game that I haven't played yet, even though many people say it's not that good. Have you tried Catriel Layton Cool before? I kinda want to try it, even if it is bad though. Just to say that I played everything. But Catriel was released for multiple platforms. At least to mobile and also the Switch, right? You are leaving X5? Okay, man. I'll be going to sleep now. Thank you for the stream, sir. Thank you for stopping by, X5. If Suikoden can revive from its grave after being dead since 2006, then it can happen. Yeah, people were saying that Suikoden was over, right? I even always thought that it only had 2 games, and then you guys were telling me that it had like 5 games plus. So I was surprised by that too. So yeah, if it could come back, if Mario RPG could come back, and hopefully still do not forget, this year, Chrono Trigger will come back too, right? Thanks to its 30th anniversary. And also, Persona 6 is coming back too, so if those games can come back, they can recycle Professor Layton and others, like Digimon Dawn and Dusk. Yeah, you have not played it yet, me neither. I have been kinda hoping it gets to a better price, but I'm still not happy with the deals, right? For Catriel Layton on the Switch. But X5, have a good night, man. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. But I want to play it too. Ouch, some big brute came through here looking for a woman named Menardi. That's new. Menardi, huh? Menardi? Isn't Menardi over though? They still are a thing? Big brute though? They... They are not talking about Alex, are they? I told him I have never heard of her, and he shoved me to the ground and stormed off. It's not Alex. I don't know who is after Menardi then. What has gone wrong with the world? People have no respect for their elders. Okay, we can finally do something about this now. Oh wait, I'll need to change their classes again. No. There we go. What's happening here? What is going on with the Great Mighty Pool, right? Wait, it's nothing? Is who? Found. I am the Great Mighty Pool. It does nothing. Whirlwind as well? Like it's a pile of sand? No, I don't know. Dows? Wait. No. Frost? Growth? Move? Okay, is there anything around it? Okay, I have no idea what they want me to do in here. Did you finish that coaster from yesterday? So, wait, not from... Oh, from Wednesday. Yes, I was going to say not from yesterday, right? So what happened, cool, was that we picked this one very complicated, somewhat surprisingly complicated, right? Roller coaster type, which was the stand-up roller coaster or something. And I could not do it the way I thought initially, with like the powered launch mode, right? Just like the others. But I left a short powered launch version of it in there that doesn't get the requirement. But I checked the pre-made coasters of that one type. When you like go to the menu, right, and then you pick the ride you wanna build, and then you have like those pre-made models, right? I was checking their photos and stats and things, and I came up to a conclusion that in order for me to get that one coaster type plus high excitement levels, they would need to be a larger coaster. So I basically built another coaster of that type without going for the powered launch mode. I made like a whole circuit, like with the beginning and the end, right? The station is like fully connected, and it's a long coaster. So I ended up having two coasters of that type, one That's the power launch mode just because the other ones were also like that, just to like to help it to make sense with the others. And I did an extra one that's like a more complete coaster, a very long coaster as well, that then it fit the requirement, but it fit it with like 6, you know. It was 6.3 because I added, or maybe I should say 6.03, because I added the fountains as well to like decorate it. But once I finished that, it was like 6, so at least that. But that's what happened. So basically I did get my 4th coaster completed, but I had to go for a more traditional building of that model. And then, even though now I have 5 coasters in the park, only 4 match the requirement of the objective. And the next time, I'm probably going to work on your suggestion of the Virginia Rio. Exactly. I'm very excited for it too, because I did have an idea, don't know if it's going to work, but I wanted to build it like very vertically, like in a building of some sort, you know. Was a pain, you think so? Am I underestimating it? To get a 6? Oh man, am I really underestimating it? I'm really thinking about making it a very vertical coaster, like a building in a way. You know, another reference that I'm thinking for it? Those traditional OG Donkey Kong versus Mario levels, you know? Even this new Mario Kart has a Donkey Kong spaceport level like that. I'm thinking on that as an inspiration for the Virginia Rio. Something very vertical, with like, you know, slopes like this maybe. Because lose a lot of speed, maybe it's because of the spinning car, right? Mm, I don't know. I'm somewhat confident, but it's good that you're saying it's probably not that easy, right? So I should be ready for that too. I should be ready for disappointment. But okay, okay, I will see how it goes. But I'm kind of thinking on something Donkey Kong style, right? For this coaster, something very vertical. And then it's going to be the 5th coaster. So I have no shitting idea what's going on in here. Nothing that I had worked. Is this a note on my notes already? I'm not sure. I'm also guessing you still haven't gone back to your park, have you? Yes, I can't find anything about this on my notes, so I'm going to... But it says there is a chest in Naribwe. Where is there a chest in here? There are genies and water puzzles and other puzzles in the Kibombo Mountains. We've solved them already, yes. There is a chest in here? I'll need to look for this chest then. But let me write down that there is a weird pile of sand in Naribwe that I don't know what to do about that. Oh, you haven't? But you are in your last coaster, okay. You got this now. Can you list the coaster types you have gone for, or you wouldn't be able to remember them all? You probably have done a Virginia Reel, as you were saying, it was painful, right? Have you gone for strategies close to mine? Of like multiple connected coasters? Yeah, I was reading there is a chest in here somewhere. Um, what is north? Like, let's talk to the fortune teller. I mean, sure. That's the black orb, right? Yeah, the black crystal. Can you give me some fortune teller about that? Or fortune telling, right? Fortune telling about the black crystal? Yes. I see. Beyond the item before me, I see a path for you to follow. You must forge a weapon to defeat a mortal enemy? Seek out the pieces. What? Interesting? Forge a weapon to destroy an enemy. After father's been reading all day, he sleeps like a baby, a really loud snoring baby. Father should charge more for his readings? People profit from what he tells them? Why shouldn't he profit from telling them? If you desire a reading, okay. Items placed before me are filled with the desires of those who place them there. If I can sense those desires, I can answer that which they seek. We need to forge an item to destroy a mortal enemy. What the hell? Who's the mortal enemy? It could be so many people. It could be Jenna. It could be Professor Craven. It could be Lord Babby. It could be Alex. It could be Menardi again or Saturos, as they are bringing back them in this game, right? You have two sink coasters, okay. You went... I'm impressed. I cannot believe you went for a wooden and a twister coasters in your park. Not only because they are very expensive, but because they are large, right? Man, although maybe they're not as hard for to get them to like 6 of excitement, right? But I'm pretty sure it was somewhat tricky for you to find space for them. They are very long coasters, right? What was up north here? Just the exit, okay. Alright, I couldn't see much in that city. At least there were some changes, but not much. What was in here again? I think it's just for a genie possible area, I'm not sure. You can build it compact, but it's hard. Yeah, when I was playing the level myself, I was like, I'm not trying the wooden coasters, right? But good job. But I don't think they like if you can find a space for them, then they would be easily getting to 6 of excitement. I can see that now, yeah. BRB, alright. It's just that they give you some problems, right, for you to fit them. We have a beach in here. Wait. We cannot walk there, okay. So let's go back to Indra by taking the Gondowan Cliffs, right? It is midnight now, yeah, maybe I should stop the stream soon. Let's try getting to Alhafra or maybe Madra to see if something... What is this noise? Is this waves? That's the noise of crashing waves? Also, I believe there were puzzles in here that I haven't solved, weren't there? Or maybe I should say, weren't they, right? I think there were, yeah. That I had to freeze things? Oh, a gorilla. Speaking of gorilla, people have been comparing the new Donkey Kong game to not only Mario Odyssey, but also Zelda Breath of the Wild, right? They were saying it's like a Mario Odyssey game with Zelda Breath of the Wild mechanics. Because of the terraforming, pretty much. Yeah. So people are somewhat very happy and excited for it. I think I'll use Avoid again because I wanna look for the puzzles. But first I will also heal Pierce. There we go. There gotta be something here that I haven't done. Like this, for example. Now it's your time to head off, Scap. Alright, man, please go check the rest of the Black Mirror season, right? Someone's screaming at you again. I can understand you. I'm still not hungry because I ate before starting the stream. But I believe I'll probably eat something after the stream too, right? But take care, man, go get something good for you to eat, and we talk more next time, yeah. And go check Black Mirror more, right? So, how do I get up there? and then it's going to drop me down there, but for what reason? I mean, go for it, but I don't know. Why is this a thing? Yeah, then we can talk more about this season. I hope you like it as much as I did. There are some very good ideas in those episodes. But yeah, take care, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, there is this. What is this? A healing fungus. Healing fungus? A rare and delicious or mushroom, right? Details? A rare item. Okay. Definitely not your ordinary Super Mario mushroom, right? Then, am I missing something else? But as everybody... Oh, there is that. You see, I knew that I was missing more things. As everybody's leaving, I also feel like I should too. So I also don't go to bed super late, right? Lash. Today's stream was not like very... Oh, there is another rare mushroom up there, by the way. It was not like very progression-like. It was more rechecking things that I left behind, which is fine. But it's also like figuring out what to do next in a way, because I'm not sure. How to get up there? It's from the back there, yeah. Something back here? Is there a shortcut to avoid? No. But maybe I should make one. Right there, okay. How do I get there then? Alright, let's try. Not like this. Oh, the... okay, I see. Then we go up there, right? We freeze this. That's how I see it. We are going to get another mushroom. Oh, that sound was from the geyser. Interesting. We could hear the geyser from so far away, right? There we go. Then we go down here. No? Wait. We climb in here then, okay. Then we jump. Now we go down, is that it? No, it's not like this. This was for the first mushroom, wasn't it? It was. I'm missing something. Yes, I kinda backtracked a lot. Wait. I skipped something, I think. Avoid again. What did I do wrong? Maybe it is down here? Oh, there it is. A laughing fungus? Laughing fungus? Suspicious mushroom. Details are unknown, so what? Okay, one day maybe we learn about them. Hopefully they are forgeable items, right? Next, I was missing the passage, right? The cave. The cave was down here? Or no? Yeah, right. There we go. So, Shiba, please reveal the secrets of the Gondowan Cliffs. What's here? Dungeon. Dungeon. Fossils. Interesting. Hello? Nobody's here? But someone was here soon, right? Or maybe I should say someone was here recently, as the fire is lit. You know what? Douse? It didn't work. Maybe scoop somewhere? What is the point of this? Huh. I mean, maybe there is a big secret going on in here, but I do not follow it. I'm even paying attention to the bones. So like, are they pointing to somewhere, but they are not? Is scoop the skull? I don't know. It's just saying that there was someone in here recently, right? And now I kind of think we have checked everything. Okay, so let's head to Madra, and probably I'm going to end it in there. Madra was south, if I'm not mistaken. And then we go right, isn't it? And then next stream, we see if Madra has changed, now that the Kibombos are more peaceful. And also, I'm expecting something to happen in Al-Hafra, because now with the Black Orb, we may be able to activate the ship, right? We got also Piers, so we have everything. We are adepts ourselves, we have the Black Orb, we have Professor Craydon that needs to go to Lemuria. We have Jenna as well to boss us around. So we're not missing anything, right? Madra, there we go. I'm not sure if the city will be any different, but hopefully there will be something else here. There is even the catacombs, right, of Madra, that they had some secrets in there. We could try going back there to see if we can figure something else to do in there now. But I have the feeling the puzzle in there, I still do not have an idea of what to do. But we can refresh our memories at least. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me tonight. So thank you so much everyone for stopping by. Golden Sun is back next Sunday. It's the Golden Sundays. And next stream, the scheduled one is like on Wednesday for more Roller Coaster Tycoon to see if we can continue with Pleasure Island. and hopefully build the one Virginia wheel that Cool wants me to build in that game. But I don't know how am I going to feel tomorrow or on Tuesday, but if in case I do an extra stream of Sable, better chances of it being on Tuesday or on Thursday. Yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll take the day to reorganize my house or like do the clippings of the streams or something, and to rest, of course. But I don't know. I do hope still that I can find another day to go back to Sable because it was also getting interesting in there, as we are exploring a new area. It was the wash, right? Yeah, it was the wash, and then I'm also missing to explore the waste in there. There is a petrified forest and things. It's very crazy. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much everybody for coming then, and I see you next time. Take care and have a good night. So goodbye.